But if we're so lazy, if we're so careless, that we do not seriously follow hard after the Lord, and we just say, well, I wish God will use me, I hope God will use me. My brother, my sister, it doesn't work like that. Being used of God doesn't come to the lazy, indolent, indifferent fellow that, will not even take the word of God seriously. You cannot deceive God. And if God doesn't give you the key to open the doors to the Gentiles to come into the kingdom, you can never open the door. You may have all the methods, you may write up the messages, you may have the machinery and the methodology, you may have the administration, and you may be able to, even by public effort, by promotional effort, be able to gather people together into large, great meetings. You will never be used of God. God doesn't toy with the keys of the kingdom. God doesn't play with the keys of the kingdom. It is to those who are always on their knees. It is to those who are sweating and crying and calling upon God. It is to those who are consecrated and seriously yielded to God. It is to those who care for nothing of this world, but care for God alone. It is to only those people the Lord can commit the keys of the kingdom. Don't kid yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Any minister in the Deeper Christian Life ministry, the Lord is not just watching for the name Deeper Christian Life Ministry. I hope you're intelligent enough to know that the Lord is not saying, well, because it's Deeper Life, even though he's careless, even though he doesn't pray, even though he's not having a strong persuasion, even though he's not really following hard after me, just because it's Deeper Life, that because of that I will use him. There is nothing like that. You can be called by whatever name, apostle or bishop. You can be called by whatever name, superintendent or coordinator. Whatever the name is, if you do not have the secret prayer, always on your knees, you will never amount to anything before the Lord. But there are so many people, and they're in this church. All they know is that, well, we started it together. We're old members. If you have eyes to cry, you should cry for yourself when you find yourself in that situation. Only saying that, well, I've been there all the time. I've been an old member there. God will just set you aside if you cannot get on your knees by secret praying and say, oh Lord, let your fire come upon me, because I want to be used of you in this growing church. God will rather raise up a stone to declare his glory. God will rather use the jawbone of an ass. God will rather use a little David, and God will rather bring a Joseph from the prison to come and declare the glory of his name and to convert people to him, rather than use a person who is just sitting in the church warming the bench and is not serious to follow after the Lord. If you are going to be used of God, you cannot take God for a ride. You cannot play with the things of God. You have to get on your knees and be a man of secret prayer. That's the point I'm making. In Luke chapter 18, reading from verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. You want to be used of God? You must be a man of prayer, secret prayer. A man that is always on his knees. A man that knows how to contact heaven. A man that intercedes, a man that prays. I don't mean there's a type of public praying that people do. You find people that pray in public, and they pray long prayer, loud prayer, and they try to use some type of vocabulary in their prayer. Those are hypocrites. If you do not have the closet praying, if your knees are not bended when you are in your closet, if you are not all the time with strong crying and tears, with real devotion and affection, calling upon the Lord in secret, if you come in the public to do anything, it's just hypocrisy. God is not going to take you serious. But when you are a man of secret prayer and you are seeking after the Lord, and the more you pray, the more you are humble, the more you go down, the more you are crucified, the more you are just nailed to the cross, the more you bind your sacrifice on the altar, the more the tears will be flowing, the more your heart will be softened, the more you'll have the vision of heaven, the more you'll be hearing of the purpose, the plan of God. If you're a man of prayer, and you will never be tired, a man that is praying, a man that is waiting upon the Lord, the body may be tired, but his spirit is always awake. Call him at any time. He has authority over the devil, over sickness. He has authority anywhere. Anywhere you put him, you can put him in the jungle, he can preach the gospel. You can put him in a particular state, he can preach the gospel. You can put him in a city, he'll be holding meetings, and he'll be drawing multitudes to the Lord. If he's a man of secret prayer, There's the one that cannot pray, that will say, well, my station is difficult, my state is peculiar, my local government area will not yield to the gospel, our city is so worldly, they will not listen to the preaching of the gospel. My brother, my sister, is because you are lazy, you cannot pray. Because God still holds the world in his hand, and he can move the hearts of men to obey the gospel. And if we will find the right man, if we will find the right man, the kneeling man, the praying man, if we will find the supplicating man, the interceding man, that man can go anywhere and preach the gospel with wonderful results, and many people will turn to the Lord.